Well, everybody, it looks like we're looking at another match between Acer's Bly as the green Zerg in the top right versus Lucky as the red Zerg in the bottom left on Neoplanet SLE. I shouldn't say another match on this map, but rather another match between these two players. I guess that that replay was just mislabeled, and yeah, these two guys play 3 games total. Should be interesting. I don't care. ZvZ is my favorite matchup. I could care less who plays what or who does what. Oh, oops, I already had that open. Thought for a second I didn't. I just love this. So yeah, that's what it is basically. ZvZ. Whoa. Okay, that's an extractor trick, I think. Yep, there we go. That makes sense. Second there, I thought it was going to be an early gas. Oh wow. Yep, so anyway, let's move on. My mouse is frozen on that number 6, if you're wondering why I'm just leaving it there. Because, you know what, life does that to me. Whatever. Let's continue onward, trying to ignore the fact that my mouse hates me as I move around with the arrow keys. I always love how pro players just send everything so perfectly that it's like it's literally like these overlords are mirrored. I mean, even the drones right now seem to be mirrored. I feel like Lucky is maybe just slightly ahead somehow. I don't even. Do you know what? They're not. This is so dead even. We're just gonna call it exactly the same thing. Bly actually is the one who appears to be just a little bit ahead. I almost feel like it's almost a slight difference in their build, where Lucky goes 15 hatch and Bly goes 16. Or sorry, yeah. That's basically what the difference is, I feel. I don't know how much that impacts the game. I'm going to have to talk to a Zerg player after this and find out. I want to know, because it's little things like that I feel that distinguish pro players from the amateurs. How much it makes a difference will be interesting to find out. Lucky now getting much more drones than his opponent. Where's the extra mineral? Oh, there we go. Oh, wait. Zerglings and extractor. Okay, I was wondering where all the supply for Bly was going. What was happening there? Either way, that early extractor is going to be making a bit of a difference. I shouldn't even call it early. Metabolic boost is a very common upgrade, or it's very common to see it early on this map. Sometimes my mouth runs ahead of my thoughts, gets me in trouble, and I say weird and stupid stuff like yeah, I'm not even going to repeat that. Either way, it's very common to see metabolic boost quickly on this map, because the effects of metabolic boost are even stronger with such a small distance between the two bases. Basically, as long as you have the advantage of metabolic boost, you can be literally, I mean, not even just at their doorstep, you are pretty much just in their face all the time. It's quite the advantage. Of course, on the other hand, if you lose that advantage, if you have that advantage and then you're pressing it and they gain metabolic boost as well, it's really easy for the tide to turn against you. So we're going to have to see what he is able to accomplish with his Lings scouting in. Remember that this is just, Lings are basically expendable at all points in the game, except they're not really in ZvZ. The scout, of course, more useful than the worth of the Lings, and we're going to be able to see what he's able to see. Probably able to figure out the amount of gas that Lucky has. Well, I assume he is, but you know, we've all heard of the trick where you're basically like, well, I can, you know, click on that, see the gas, and therefore infer what he could possibly have or when he could have it. And Bly realizes he has a real advantage here. He's got over a minute on his metabolic boost. That is just insane. Is Lucky even going to be getting a metabolic boost? I don't know. I have no clue what he's actually doing. I feel like he's making a terrible mistake. How do you plan on holding Zerglings? Oh my gosh, there's the roaches coming down. That would appear to be his plan, but the metabolic boost is almost done. And the Roach Warren is just started. It won't take all that long to complete, but Lings take so little time, and with metabolic boost, he can easily be across the map with, you know, 24 Lings before Lucky is even able to do anything about it. Whew. Then, of course, all the gas coming down. Whoa. Oh, I don't know why I have to keep clearing my throat today. Oh, there's just something wrong here almost. I do have a feeling that Bly is going to be going for Mutalisks. I could be entirely wrong. Nope, there is the Spire. We are going to be seeing Lings move across. They do have speed, and on creep they will have a supreme advantage. He is now able to kill those tumors, probably going to go for it. Deny that creep spread. I almost wouldn't want to do it now, though, because as long as... Well, I guess never mind. Yeah, there he goes. I was about to say I would almost not do it now because as long as the creep is there, my speedlings are even more ungodly OP and fast. Now, I have to say though, in my experience watching these games, the player that goes roaches versus the player that goes mutalisks, the roach player has the advantage because the roaches just don't die fast enough to prevent a lot of worker deaths. And more than just that, the Hydralisks is very difficult for a Muta player to engage correctly. I do feel that... is he actually going to spot that changeling is the question. But I do feel that if, in that last game, if Bly had been able to get the if he had been able to get the Banelings out just a little bit quicker, he might actually have been able to turn the tides of that burrowed Banelings. Hitting at the right spot against those Hydralisks would have just been able to turn the tides of that battle as it's canceling these Spine Crawlers. Decides he doesn't need them. Roaches not being too aggressive, sitting at home, but he can easily, never mind, what am I talking about? They're not being aggressive now because they're waiting for their buddies. Either way, Ling's here going to be working away at the hatchery. There's the cancel. On the other hand, it does delay that expansion by a bit. Of course, he's now going out to try and deny his opponents as well. It will have finished, so that means it cannot cancel, but at the same time, it can withstand a good deal more punishment. On the other hand, that is a lot of roaches, and this is what I mean. There are so many more roaches before there are any amount of Mutalisks really on the field. So yeah, this hatchery is in trouble. I don't really believe it can be saved. Well, maybe it can. As the Lings move in there, they will actually be able to save this hatchery. Lings are the missing part, I feel, because Lings actually do surprisingly well versus roaches in small numbers. Basically, you need a lot of roaches, or at least a good-sized group of roaches to really engage a lot of speedlings. Mostly because, especially without the actually they do have the enough of an upgrade advantage to hit the Lings. So there is that. We are seeing the common response, or not common response, Nidus Worm play. Oh my goodness, and oh wow, he actually has one of the best spots to do it too. Doesn't have really all that much vision of his base, something that Zerg players really need to work on and worry about. Nevertheless, he doesn't have a whole lot of anti-air, and I feel without those Hydralisks he might be in trouble. Does Bly spot that? Let's find out. Bly does not. The Nidus Worm is not spotted. Will be able to make its appearance before I think Bly is really able to do anything about it. There it goes, but he can see that. Now that's the problem. If he had put it here, I think he could have gotten away with it. Or if it had gotten there maybe, but no, it will fall down. Is not able to do anything about it. And there's the Mutalisk coming in, going to be stopping it now. And there is the next one coming down. Mutalisk already seeing that. Talk about prescience or omnipotence, or I don't even know what to call that. Bly actually just I don't even know. He is dominating the map right now with his Mutalisks and roaches. Lucky unable to really take an expansion here, or even do much of anything as he sends that one roach out. It's like a scouting roach. You almost should engage that lane and kill it off. Doesn't matter. There isn't really much you can scout with Mutalisks and Lings on the field. Oh my god, yep, just going to lose it right there. There's the next Nidus Worm coming down. It wasn't even a scout, it was a spotter roach trying to spot for that Nidus Worm. Now the only question is, have I been missing like a Hydralisk den coming down? What are his plans? Is this just an all-in? Yeah, I have a feeling this is probably just going to be an all-in. A lot of queens, a lot of roaches, don't know if he's going to be able to make anything happen with this, but he definitely needs to because it is 3-2 bases, and if he can't win this battle, he cannot win at all. The only thing is that Bly has roaches of his own. Will that be enough to change it? Will it even matter? Because he sent all his roaches across the map. Is this going to be a base race? I feel it probably will. Oh my goodness, who will win? I think the odds right now, of course, this counts as a building. Remember, the Nidoswarm is a building. At some point, this needs to fall if there's going to be anything. And, of course, there's the drones making their escape. Oh my goodness, this game is fascinating. You don't often see a lot of pro-level base races, and he really needs to engage into this if he has any hope here of doing anything, but there's enough forces here. I feel that it might be a problem. There's just roaches over here, and there's really nothing that can oppose them whatsoever. He just needs to go in and attack, and there we go. The spine crawlers going to be attacking. They're engaging into that. There's the mutas being cautious versus those queens. I cannot blame them. There is the hatchery coming down at the opening there. He has to keep that alive. It will be his last remaining building very shortly. No, it's not. Roach is going to be coming home to defend. Makes sense to me, I guess. No matter what happens, he will sort of have the advantage here. So long as he's able to stop them from getting into the main base and killing his tech. Because he will be a base ahead no matter what. If he is able to save this base, oh my gosh, it doesn't even matter. There is the GG. Lucky loses this match, and now we realize this was a best-of-3 series, with Bly losing 2 and Lucky winning 1. Oh my gosh, folks, unfortunately, I now have a couple of things to do. Not that it really matters since I release these videos once a day anyways, but I'm sad that I'm not going to be able to cast another one yet. Anyways, this has been FD.